Welcome to Cleveland Brown Stadium and to Dog Pound, as we have an excellent game on tap between Pittsburgh and Cleveland. Let's take you now to Tom Hammond and Chris Collinsworth, who are getting set for the kickoff.
It should be cloudy but mild for today's game. Good afternoon, folks. Tom Hammond and Chris Collinsworth opened for business in 1957. Over the decades, it's undergone multiple expansion projects, such as the opening of the atrium named Titletown, that have enhanced its allure. Welcome to Green Bay. Tom Hammond here, folks, with my partner, Chris Collinsworth. Glad you're with us. We should be in for a good one. Arizona squares off against Green Bay.
Ken Wisenhunt was the offensive coordinator for the Steelers when they won Super Bowl 40 and almost beat the Steelers in the Super Bowl a season ago.
The snow is...
Game is brought to you in HD by EA Sports and Madden NFL 11. Welcome to the Louisiana Superdome in Cajun Country, New Orleans. Gus Johnson along with Chris Collinsworth. And welcome to this exhibition clash between the Saints and the Colts. Tonight, we've got two Pro Bowl quarterbacks going at it, Chris, but both took very different paths.
Gus, I don't think we have to do a lot to sell this matchup. Drew Brees against Peyton Manning, a rematch of last year's Super Bowl. And Peyton Manning, what a remarkable season he had. He won his 4th MVP award, was simply sensational, carrying his team for much of the season undefeated. Drew Brees did the exact same thing until they were finally knocked off late in the season by the Dallas Cowboys. But he regrouped the Saints, led them on to the first Super Bowl championship in that city, and what a moment it was for the city of New Orleans.
A great story and a great storyline for this matchup tonight.
It's time for the 12th man to get on your feet for your Seattle Seahawks. Let's hear it from our 12th man for your Seattle Seahawks offensive starters. And at the wide receiver from Southern California, number 17, Mike Williams. And at quarterback from Boston College, number 8, Matt Hasselbeck.
Welcome to gorgeous Quest Field in Seattle, Washington. A beautiful day in the Emerald City. And welcome to this exhibition clash between...
Ford Field welcomes us for this matchup between the Ravens and the Lions.
Hello, friends. Jim Nance alongside Phil Simms. And Phil, we've prepared for this game by talking to the players and the coaches. What do you expect?
Jim, just talking to the coaches, talking to both of them, how fired up they were. So if the coaches are that fired up, can you imagine how the players are going to be? Their emotions are going to be at sky-high level. That means we are going to have a hard-hitting game. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
AFC versus NFC as kickoff fast approaches, Phil.
Well, we have two teams that don't know each other very well.
matchup between the Saints and the Cowboys.
Hello, friends. Jim Nance alongside Phil Simms. And I guess the big question, Phil, before kickoff is what do you expect here today?
Jim, I expect a hard-hitting game. And this game's going to come down to who can out-hit the other team. Everybody says, yeah, we're willing to fight. Well, we're going to find out, are you really willing to fight? Can you do it for 60 minutes? Because that's what it's going to take to win this game.
Let's go down to the field for the latest, and here's Danielle Bellini.
Thanks, Jim. Members of the coaching staff were actually very satisfied when I spoke with them earlier today. They thought this week had been an especially good practice week and felt like those quality practices would show up on the field today in terms of solid results. Guys, back to you.
Danielle, thank you very much. Now we'll go to the... It's the NFL on EA Sports. Another exciting matchup just moments away now as we join you from the home of the Minnesota Vikings.
Hello, friends. Jim Nance alongside Phil Simms. And Phil, we've prepared for this game by talking to the players and the coaches. What do you expect?
Jim, just talking to the coaches, talking to both of them, how fired up they were. So if the coaches are that fired up, can you imagine how the players are going to be? Their emotions are going to be at sky-high level. That means we are going to have a...
Jim Nance, Phil Simms, partner, look forward to sharing a very special afternoon with you.
Yeah, thank you, Jim. We look forward to sharing it with you, too. This should be a special game. I know the fans are excited about it. Talk radio all week long. All they talked about was this game because we have special players and some coaches that are two of the best in the NFL. I'm excited about the game.
It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we should have an exciting matchup on our hands as we join you from MetLife Stadium. And welcome, everybody. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. We've got a great one for you. And, partner, one thing that stuck out to me in talking with these coaches this week, both so confident about their game plans.
And that usually means something has to give, right? Who's going to gain the advantage? Which game plan actually is going to work?
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. In today's game, we have a matchup of two young QBs with plenty of playoff experience on their resume. It's Andy Dalton versus Andrew Luck. For the call, let's send you out to the broadcast booth, where we'll join our commentators, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Just as we were ready for air, it was the Colts emerging from the locker room to great fanfare here in Indy. They're ready to go as the Colts get set to match up with the Cincinnati Bengals. And hello again, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin here in the booth. And, Chuck, you take a look at this matchup. I don't know if it's going to be one in the trenches from the quarterbacks out, whatever. It's going to be a good game.
Oh, without a doubt. I can't wait to see the big fellas have an impact.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. Welcome to the special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Tennessee Titans and the New England Patriots. With that, let's head on up to Foxborough. Standing by with the call at Gillette Stadium, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. A moment ago, the pride of Massachusetts, the Patriots, introduced to this, as always, sold-out crowd as they get set to go head-to-head with Marcus Mariota and the Tennessee Titans. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you from our broadcast perch. And, Charles, as we get this thing started, what are you going to be keeping your eye on?
Special teams. Field position is always a big determinant.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. Welcome to the special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Arizona Cardinals. With that, let's get out to the desert. Standing by in Glendale, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun at State Farm Stadium here in Glendale. So this was the scene a moment ago. The Cardinals emerging from their tunnel, and we are ready for football as the Cards get set to match up with the Houston Texans. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you've got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
Today, it's Madden NFL football. This is the National Football League.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL. Today, from SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California, this is the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Matthew Stafford and the Los Angeles Rams taking on Teddy Bridgewater and the Denver Broncos. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Los. Today, from Las Vegas, Nevada, this is the National Football League. We'll see Derek Carr and the Las Vegas Raiders taking on Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the Las Vegas Raiders.
It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills. And it's coming up next on Madden Football.
Oh, they indeed love their football here in upstate New York as you get a look inside Rocket Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park. Today we've got a fun AFC matchup on tap as it'll be the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Buffalo Bills. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.